Oh wait, no, this is the wrong window. Yeah. Hi. How are we doing? Hi, Julians. Hi, Metal. Hi, Magna. Thank you for the follow, Quillback. Yeah. So today we are gonna paint our sister Repentia. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on my sister's battle, which you can see some of here. This general pile. There's a bunch here. It kind of lives on my desk now, so that every day I paint just a little bit. Hi, cat. Are you going to disrupt the painting area? We're being invaded by a cat. Hello. Hi. Every time. Every time. So, these models we have based in, we've based in Chaos Black, and we've dry brushed with Grey Sear to get some cold kind of baselines for midtones. And we've done a very light dry brush highlight with Wraithbone, because like the highlights naturally should have a bit more of a warmer tone. So we'll be doing some flat layers with contrast paint, and then we'll be doing some highlights. Yeah, we should probably just get on with that. How are we all doing today? Are we all having a nice comfy Friday? Happy Friday. We always do our Warhammer streams on a Friday. So these are from the Combat Patrol set that I was gifted by a lovely member of the community. Cat, you are just needing attention. Okay. You can have attention. It's fine. I've got some others that are sort of in progress, but not very much, because I'm like batch painting these with like the entire army. But I've kept a few models untouched, specifically to paint on stream with you all. Because I thought it was an... Okay, she is gone. She is in her hole. Okay, maybe she isn't. If you have Warhammer and cats, how do you deal with your cats? Okay, anyway. I think we will start with cat. Don't smack me on the face. Cat can have some face paint as a treat. Well, she always tries to get her face in the paints. She genuinely does. I don't know why. She's just a little menace. Okay. Why is it as soon as I start streaming, you're always like, give me attention? Where? Okay. So, since the bulk of the model is red, we'll start with the reds. So we're gonna do two different... We're gonna do two different reds. She yearns for the battle paint. Well, maybe. Maybe. She's just a little floof. A needy little thing. She's happy now. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with the reds, so they match the rest of our Adeptus Sororitas, like the Seraphim and Seraphim. Hi, Drifter Dono. Yeah, we're painting some Warhammer. We always do a hobby stream on Fridays. It's either Warhammer or Gundams. So we are gonna continue painting our sister's Repentia. We've got our Superior here, and our regular sister Repentia there. So as we can see, one is very clearly the Dom and the other is... Anyway. Oh god, what happened to this paintbrush? It's cracked. When did this happen? Oh well. It's fine. Cat. I'm clearly doing stuff. Let me do my thing. Okay. So, we're gonna start with... So, She's got a mask, this one, so I'm not really sure. Maybe we should do her a bit different to how we've done the others. So she's got a mask and a blindfold. I'm thinking, actually, no. Cat! Why? Yeah, this is what we always do on Friday. This is always a Friday comfy stream. Comfy hobby stream. Yeah. Usually we get invaded by cats, but that's fine. We've learned to live with it, and I'm sure you guys can too. So we're gonna start with the reds, because they are the most prominent color on both of these. Because we play Order of the Bloody Rose, so most of our miniatures are red in our army. Cat, can you make up your mind? I'm just gonna put you over here. Okay. Anyway, let's get started. So I think we'll start with our sister Repentia. We start with Flesh Terror's red on her. I don't even know what you call this. She's not really wearing much of anything, in all honesty. Let me see if I can hold it closer. But like, this will become more apparent as I paint the miniature, really. Where is the webcam that's got the detailed shot? Make you a bit bigger. But yeah. She's not really wearing much of anything. Am I making space commies? No. Red makes them go faster, don't you know? But yeah, we'll be starting with Flesh Terror's red on the clothes, because Blood Angel's red very much has more of an armored look, whereas this looks more like a material when it's been inked up. We don't just do slap chop where we just leave it at contrast paints over the dry brushed base layers, because we want to go a bit further than that, because slap chop looks very chalky, I want to say. But slap chop is a very good way of getting a nice base layer to your miniature, so you've got like a very decent and consistent set of shades thrown down, and then you use other techniques over the top of that to enhance it and make the overall model look a lot nicer. So she has a sort of like mini dress? I don't even know what you call this, because it's not like the body glove like the sisters wear under their armor. It's just like, I don't know what it is. It's just sort of like a very tight dress. Now, you won't see this right now, but I assure you, when we do the thing, people complain about the sculpts of the Sister Repentia versus the original sculpts, because the original sculpts were sexy as hell. But these sculpts, I think they show the athleticism of the Adeptus Sororitas in a better way, if that makes sense. And that's like a whole different kind of appeal. Because who doesn't like someone who takes care of themselves, honestly? Even though that's very dark and no one can see that, I'm just gonna get in there with the contrast, just so we've got some consistency. We're not really going to be able to see her face because she's wearing a bit of a gimp mask, but that's fine. I really always liked the aesthetic of the Repentia, and that whole kind of like lore as the kind of like flagellant kind of character seeking forgiveness for something that's probably not really as bad as they think it is. Desexified the figures. What has the world come to? Well, I don't know. I don't really know that they've done that, really. I think it's just they have more... I feel like they've made them a bit more, realistic, honestly. Who doesn't like strong, buff tomboy girls, honestly? They will step on you. Well, no, maybe not these ones. These ones like to be whipped and all that good stuff. Which is why the superior has exactly the right tools for the job. Well. Okay. There's not much, she's not wearing that much, so after that, we can either, we're going to continue doing the reds and any brown leather, because the brown leathers and the reds all get shaded with the same ink. So, to save ourselves some time and to paint a bit more efficiently, that's how we're going to roll. I've just realised that if I could pop this here, that should make the miniatures focus better. Does give me a bit less room to paint in there, but that's fine. We will just figure it out. So the next thing I want to do is to use Blood Angel's Red contrast to go over armor of the Sister Superior, which is the Whip Lady at the back. Actually, you know what? There's no real point having this here, because you can't really see it anymore.
I officially grant you the title Boy Smoocher.
You've completely forgot I was a 40k player, Cyber Sega. I will enjoy my space nuns and have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful day too. I am a boy smoocher. I'm also a girl smoocher. I smooch everyone if they deserve it, you know. Everyone is fair game. Oh yeah, it's miserable outside. It was really nice this morning. I'm really kind of annoyed because I went to the paint shop earlier and I bought Blood Angel's Red because my Blood Angel's Red is like almost empty. You can't see it now because I've mixed it up, but it's like it's more than half empty because like I batch painted like I don't know how many, like I want to say like 50, 60 miniatures, so it's almost empty. And then I picked it up, but thinking you know, this was the right paint. Then I get home, I just before the stream, I realized, hang on, where's my extra Blood Angel's Red? And it turns out I accidentally picked up a Flesh Terror's Red instead, which is somewhat tragic. It's not the worst thing in the world, because I probably will need more Flesh Terror's Red in the future. But it is kind of annoying, because I'm going to have to go back out there and get more paint. So now we're using Blood Angel's Red, because it's a slightly brighter, more higher contrast paint.
Introducing the new Dark Souls boss, Taiga, Smoocher of all.
Smoocher of all, lol. Yes, I would be a fantastic Dark Souls boss. What would my special moves be if I was a Dark Souls boss, guys? I feel like it would have to have something to do with my paws, really. No shortage of stationary places. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a popular hobby. It's a British hobby as well. Like, there's a lot of stores on the high street in town that sell this stuff, which means you can always get supplies. I was also picking up supplies for the future project that chat voted for, which I'm very excited for. It's still going to be a couple of months before I get to it, though. I also saw something absolutely adorable, and if there's time, I might roll next week's Gundam stream into this stream at the end of the thing, depending on how long this takes. Because I saw something cute. I found a chibi Gundam Ariel, and it just looks so cute, and it cost barely anything, so I picked it up and was like, you know what? My plan for this week was to build Gundam Ariel. I can totally build a chibi Gundam Ariel. That still counts. And I can just build the real Gundam Ariel later down the line. Lol. So I head crash. Oh, that reminds me. I need to move something in my windows. You never saw any game shops? There's quite a few. I mean, especially if you look for things like Geek Retreat and like nerd shops. Also, the paint shop, the shop that like they've started to do like hobby nights for this game, so I might pop down there because it's on a different night that the official store has stuff going on, which is nice. And it's only like small format, so as soon as I have 500 points together, I might get started and paint and play some. Hopefully next week. But I would delay some of my streams, because it's like 6:30 till 9. I don't know. It's like my last day of work. So, I could probably do that. I always stay up really late with Elden Ring Tuesday streams anyway. I never plan to, it just kind of happens and suddenly, oops, 5 AM, lol. But it is a very fun game. So, can you blame me? Sometimes, you just have to. I would... Oh yeah, no. I agree. Gundam building is oddly addictive. It's just very satisfying, the engineering in Gundam builds. So, I made a mistake when I was putting this one together, because this is from the Combat Patrol box. They don't have alternate parts. So I was like, I don't want to paint faces. I'm not very good at painting faces. Faces require a lot of detail and steadier hands than I have. So I put a helmet on this one. But she's actually got a helmet on her belt. So I'm just going to call this a tactical helmet that she throws at people as a ranged attack. With absolutely no damage, but you know, it makes sense in my own way as a comedy weapon. Hi Reaper, how are you doing? You just have to kind of know what you're looking for with game shops in the UK. Like, Games Workshop itself, Warhammer has its own store. There's usually a couple of like off-brand shops that you can find online that have like real physical stores. And you can play the games. The shop I got my paints from and I picked up a few model parts for, they've just started hosting Warhammer nights as well, which is really cool. It should be fun. I hope I get to play some there. But then again, it's like I have to rush home from work in order to play, which is a bit of a pain. Or I can bring my miniatures to work, but I just don't think that's a good idea because my work doesn't really have a locker big enough for a miniature case. I don't know. It would save me time if I did bring them into work, though. Okay. I'm gonna paint the helmet as well. You actually got back from the Louvre today. Oh my god. You're excited about the pre-release for the new Magic the Gathering set. Oh nice. What's the new Magic set? I know you love your magic. Yes. How was the Louvre? When you imagine them being carved by hand? Yeah, they used to all be carved by hand and put into a mold, but these days everything's digital, and then they use 3D printing to create the casts, and then because they don't 3D print themselves, because if they did, then you know there's a lot of competition, and Games Workshop doesn't really want to enter the 3D print market because the competition is really stiff. Whereas as a model manufacturer, where everything's on sprues and done in-house, they have no competition because they own the game, they own the publishing rights, they own the lore, and everything kind of just works that way, you know? It works in their favor to not participate in the 3D model market, but it would be a lot cheaper for everyone involved in the hobby, but that means it's, you know, less profit for them. But I know a lot of friends, a lot of friends who do 3D printing, but they also mostly play in like third-party stores. You can't, whereas my closest place is an official Games Workshop. So doing third-party parts is not really that much of an option. Oh, I just realized we got that book. I think I'll do that book in Flesh Terrors Red. A nice red leather book cover. I think that would look nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely more economic, but Games Workshop likes to charge a lot of money for little plastic crack. So, yeah. They'd rather keep things in-house to keep prices and profit margins high. Even though it makes the game less accessible. But they often have, like, bundles, like, every couple of months. Like the boarding patrols, which have recently been released. They'll have a nice little discount on a bundle of miniatures. And it seems to be how their business model works, really. Which I don't quite understand. But the book needs to be pink to help you date the Eldritch Horrors, lol. No, I've got other stuff being pink. Like the Purity Seals. I say pink, it's like gonna be like a pinkish wax seal red. If that makes sense. That's my plan, at least. I'm gonna go back to Flesh Terrors Red. And get that book coloured in. Then we'll do Doomfire Magenta for those seals I was just talking about. I love contrast paints. They just make everything so smooth and easy. And you don't have to be too neat with them. Just do the other side of the book. Yeah. It's going to be a bit difficult doing Skeleton Horde in there, which is going to be like the next bit we do. Oh, I've just realised I've not finished that helmet on her belt. Back to Blood Angels Red for that. Another big drop tomorrow. Pre-orders for the Lion. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm super excited for the Lion. I'm going to order a copy of the Lion's Guard. I'm also going to try and pre-order the limited edition version of Sons of the Forest. Because it's just a very beautiful book, and I want to, like... I want the book. If I can't get it, I'll just order the normal version of the book. But the limited edition is just really special. Like, I've never seen such a nice, well, like, such a nicely made book. You know? And it looks fantastic. I'd like put it up on a shelf and just have it on display all the time, probably, in my flat. Okay, now that that's done, I think we'll move on to Doomfire Magenta for our wax seals. I feel like the amount of painting I've done over the past few days has kind of really just made my process a lot more efficient. March of the Machines is the next Magic set. What's March of the Machines? Woo! Thank you so much for the gift sub, Reaper. You're so generous. I don't know Magic very well. What's March of the Machines about? I've never been to the Louvre. When I went to Paris, I wanted to go, but my parents wouldn't take me for some reason. Like, we walked outside it as well. We went to see the Cathedral of Notre Dame. God, I was a child back then. An actual child. a tiny little bean. Okay, so we're going to do the purity seals. So there is one slight problem. I forgot that I didn't have a yellow ink. And I have to do fire. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but we'll have a think. I'm thinking of really just thinning down the red and using some off-white over the top and just thinning down a red, Blood Angel's red, until it's like almost not red. And just like bringing down, gradually like adding more and more as we get lower. And just like having it a sort of off-white at the top. Like Skeleton Horde almost. I feel like that's the right way to go, but I've never tried anything like that before, so it kind of scares me. I suppose the best thing would be to do it early on, so I don't have to worry about it. I feel like that's the sensible thing. Right, purity seals are done. That was nice and quick. Maybe I should do it now. Yeah, let's try doing it now. Do I really not have any kind of yellow? I guess Seraphim Sepia is sort of our closest thing to a yellow. And Skeleton Horde is more kind of brown. So I think we've thinned down Seraphim Sepia, who are Phyrexians, invading the multiverse and turning its inhabitants into more Phyrexians. Oh my word. Ooh. So, I'm just gonna add this paint onto my wet palette. And thin it down with some contrast medium. And hopefully that's gonna do an okay-ish job. I'll add some a tiny drop of contrast paint. Okay, that's been thinned down a lot. It does look kind of yellowish, but I feel like it's going to be a sort of brownish yellow. Yeah, I might have thinned that down a bit too much. But that's okay. Really, it should have a lot of white in it. Because, you know, fire is a light source. I've never really done fire before, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, but, you know, part of painting these is experimenting and figuring stuff out. And the fact that I don't actually have a proper paint for what I'm trying to accomplish is a bit of a challenge, in all honesty. But it's kind of nice. I should have checked the paints I needed, but I completely forgot about the fiery bit. I'm gonna add a bit more Seraphim Sapphire to this mix. It's still very thin, so hopefully it won't tint it too much. Yeah, that looks a bit more yellow. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Seraphim Sepia is a shade, which is really just like a very thin kind of overlay. I'm going to try and thicken it as we go down and add more layers. I think that's the right way of going about this. Sometimes painting is literally just going over layer after layer after layer after layer in shades and glazes and coats until you get it just right. can, but that would involve going out to the shop. And I don't really want to do that, because that's going to be like half an hour away. Or postponing it to another day. I'm confident that we can just gradually build on what we're doing until we get a nice-ish colour. Because getting a yellowy white with some flecks of red in it is probably going to be all we really need to do. And it looks like that was slowly but surely getting there. I don't actually know if this even shows up in the camera. But you can kind of see like it's tinted a little bit. Just a little bit. I might need to use some pure colour as we get lower. I'm going to leave that to dry and move on to the next bit. We're going to use wildwood contrast to work on leathers. There's not so much on the Repentia, but the Superior has a lot of leathers to work on. Where is wildwood? Wildwood basilicum grey. I'm going to use Reichland fleshade. No, wildwood. I'll try that. Thank you. So, we're going to use this on the whip. Oh, I just remembered. I was going to do the handles for the whips and the chainsword in that, red. In Flesh Terror's red. I forgot. That's okay. We'll just do it later. I really like wildwood for leather. It just looks like a very kind of natural leather, dark leather kind of tone. And we'll be going over the belt buckles and things like that. Later down the line. I say later, basically when we finish these big bits. We'll also be doing her gloves in this color. We'll be shading all of this in red because we like the idea of getting like a slight reddish tint on the gloves. The non-binary, thank you so much for the follow. Using the smudge tool, really? I will try that. I will definitely try that. I love your name, non-binary. It's absolutely probably my favorite name I've seen. Skulls for the Skull Throne. We are clearly painting loyalists. The Order of the Bloody Rose does not affiliate with Skulls for the Skull Throne. It's skulls for the Emperor and blood for his golden throne. Oh no, blood for the Emperor and skulls for his golden throne. Well, I mean, I say this, I do quite like, I am partial to Night Lords and Alpha Legion and Word Bearers. In fact, I'm more partial to more Traitor Legions than I am Imperial Legions, but like, the Dark Angels will always have my love as my childhood chapter. And also, the Legion that chat voted for me to build. I won't be playing with my old army that I I had shared with my dad. I tried to like modify some of it, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Because, you know, that's his models. My stuff should be different, I think. So I'm going to do all mine in First Legion colors for 40k. Nurglings, your beloved. Nurglings are cute. Have you seen the Hammer and Bolter episode, The Song of Nurgle? I watched that yesterday afternoon. I fucking loved it. I love the Hammer and Bolter animated series. The shorts are so goddamn good. I just enjoy them a lot. Woo! Thank you so much for the gift card. Words. Thank you so much for the gift sub, Reaper. You're such a lovely, generous person. Okay. That's those straps done. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with the lion in Sons of the Forest. Like, in Son of the Forest. It's going to be such a cool book. I'm really excited to see what exactly he's up to, what he's been up to since waking up. I'm assuming he woke up and started being active in the galaxy after the Great Rift opened. I feel like that would make sense, you know? What do we think? Has the lion just been chilling, or do you think he's been out and about? As a knight, I feel like he would definitely be out and about. Friends are much more into it than you are, so you learn from them. You only got bits and pieces of the lore. You're not very into it. That's fair. It's a fun game. You should definitely give it a try. It's always fun to try new things. But, sadly, it is a bit of a cash sink. Oh, she's got a leather garter I need to paint. I'll add some metal detailing onto that later. These tiny little bits in here. I think the base is blocking it. There's just a tiny little bit. You know what? We can be a bit messy with this because we're going to go over most of that area later. This tiny little garter here. Yeah. I love this playlist. Fucking Lo-Fi Girl. So many good tunes. Okay. So, what was next? Oh yes, I was going to go back to Flesh Terror's Red for the handles. I think I need to touch up some Blood Angels Red here and there as well. Just a little bit of this on the weapon handle. I do love how you can just be a little bit messy with contrast paints. Like, obviously it's ideal if you're not, but if you don't have the best brush control in the world, or your brushes are a bit damaged, it's not the end of the world. You can just keep going. I need to learn to take better care of my brushes, but that will happen in the future. I'm glad that my brushes are quite cheap, so I don't have to worry too much about replacing them. But eventually I will want to get a nicer set of brushes, and I will need to take care of those properly. But we can start learning now. Okay. What else? What else? What else? I think that that's all of the things we need to shade in red done. So, the next thing, I think, is going to be Carroburg Crimson on everything. No, wait, no. I need to touch up a tiny little bit of the Blood Angels Red. So what do you know about Warhammer 40,000 non-binary? What is, maybe I can find something. What is it you like about it? Maybe we can give you some cool stuff that you might like. Oh, well, teach you about some cool stuff that you might like. Yeah, I think it was just that little bit on top of the backpack I needed to do. Okay. Let's do our Carroburg Crimson coat. Where's my Carroburg Crimson? There it is. I'm going to start with the Sister Repentia because she is completely dry. Also, yeah, I really wish this camera didn't have autofocus, but sadly it does. I love just how much a little bit of shade and ink kind of just brings a contrast painted model to life. They say that, like, contrast is meant to be one clear coat. And I guess, like, one thick coat. And I guess, like, it's possible, but you really need to add to it with over the top to make it really, like, come to life and look as good as it could. Yeah, I'm happy with how it's starting to look. I love that tone. I want to get a dress in this color. Get into focus, miniature. You know what? Never mind. It'll be fine. That might have been a bit much. Right. Let's get started on the Superior. Once this is done, the bulk of the model is actually finished. Red is the primary color. There are things I might think about doing later, but I'm not sure if I need to. Extra highlights and stuff like that. As she is like a minor officer, it would make sense to give her a bit more than just the basics treatment. But she's also very much an option, just a squad leader. Things like the Canoness, which we're slowly working on, take a bit more attention to detail. Canister on the back a little wash. It's kind of an odd concept to think like you just carry like a lit torch on your back. Like, are they not afraid that it's going to set them on fire? Oh wait, no, she's a sister of battle. She has faith, which often leads them to do really stupid things sometimes. but I still love them. I always have a soft spot for the fanatics in Warhammer. Like, there's just something about them that I always find very, very... So there's an endearing quality to their naivety in a lot of the situations. And sometimes there's a sense of helpless, almost nonsensical optimism about some of the characters, which is honestly very refreshing in a world as grimdark as Warhammer 40,000. Sometimes you need that naivety, I think. Or perhaps it would be better to call it willful ignorance in order to just survive in a way. Yeah. Once this is done, I guess we'll move on to the blacks. We'll probably do a very thin layer of Blood Angel's Red just at the very bottom of the fire and push it up slightly just to see how it looks. We're going to thin that down with a lot of contrast medium. But once this crimson glaze is done, should add a very nice deep red quality to the browns without like changing the color too much. Ooh, I will fix my spine and consume liquid. Just a moment. Just gonna finish with this color and clean my brush. That's that. Just going to pull away some of the excess before it dries. Which is a very important thing to do, because if you don't, it makes your model look a bit oversaturated and a bit weird. Which is not what we're going for. Fortunately, there's very rarely ever too much shade. The shade is quite a thin paint, so it's very hard to mess it up, I think. Okay. Beverage time. Okay, what's next on the agenda? I think there's two things we can do that are only on this one, really. The very first thing is going to be these purity seals, but they're a bit close to the red shade, which is still drying. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a little shoes. A tiny little shoes. which are we're gonna do in contrast basilicum grey. Won't take very long, and we will be shading these with Null oil right after, but we'll do that at the same time as we do the metal work and the rest. It's a very quick thing just to get a quick, very light coating done. I'm choosing this colour because it's like, it's a black, but it's not super dark. It's like a dark grey, which I think helps differentiate the materials. It's a very light, it looks very light and breathable. A bit kind of like the leggings that we had on the Sister Novitiates. With that done, actually, we might as well start working on the blacks with contrast black Templar. It's very simple. That's my Null Oil. Where's my Black Templar? Where's my Black Templar? Okay, I'm just gonna quickly give this a little mix. Okay, that'll do. Right, now that we've got that out, we're going to go over her mask. And when this is done, we may as well, since we've got a dirtied brush already, we may as well go over the cloth on the Superior. This is going to be very simple. One thick coat. Possibly two. Sometimes one of the problems with contrast is that it's not an especially thick paint, and part of the good nature is that it's always a little bit transparent. Which sometimes is good, but sometimes is bad. Like, I'm not a very neat painter, but sometimes you just have to do a quick second go over. Just to cover up any areas you made mistakes on. And that. Her little shoesies are done. And her mask. Let's leave her to dry for a bit. Now, I think we can go back to doing the fire. I'm going to take an unthinned coat of Seraphim Sepia and work on these little pyres from the base up. Just to see the effect. I don't expect it to change too much. But it does look like it's colouring it. I should have just really gone with unthinned from the start. Because of how thin the shades are. Yeah, I think we can just cover the whole thing with this. And it's kind of like this off-white, slightly yellow thing. And I think the next thing we'll do is we'll do very heavily thinned down Blood Angel's Red. And we might just throw a touch of this into that mixture. Just to make it a little bit more yellow, rather than the slightly orange-red that it starts out as. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's work on this cloth then, shall we? Just gonna leave that for a moment. I think the hardest part is going to be coming up with a flesh tone that we're happy with. Oh, that's the wrong paint. Oh, that's the wrong paint. Oh dear. A critical error has occurred. Try and wipe as much of that off. And go over it again. It's okay, it's not very noticeable. Or at least it won't be very noticeable by the time we're finished. A nice quick coating. We're not going to do the other bit, because as you can, if you look closely at the model, it's clearly a fold, and the interior of this color scheme has the other side of the fabric being white. I'm going to flip it around and do the back. It's a very chill bit of the paint process, this. As always, you want to stroke your brush in such a way that it makes most of the paint pool into the recesses. Otherwise, it could dry and look a bit weird. It's also why you want a lot of contrast paint on your brush, so that it will do that naturally on its own. Okay. Other side. Just doing the... What do you call this bit? I guess it would be like a habit that like a priest wears? They are nuns after all. The cowl, the mantle, whatever you call this, like, shouldery bit she's wearing. I rather like the design of this, in all honesty. It's just this little sleeve here. I'm gonna go over this bit again, just get a bit darker. That little bit there before the cloth folds. Yeah. Okay. Now that that's done, we'll leave that to dry for a moment. I think it's time for Skeleton Horde on, which is what we're going to use to coat the purity seals on these. Just a very light coat. We'll be taking our micron pen later. Well, this is kind of yellowish. An idea. An idea for that. But it's not a very yellow. Kind of like a light brown, really. Like a bone kind of colour. I just realised that my hand was covering up the camera completely there. That's okay. Just gonna readjust. Oh, I just realised I forgot. I need to do this chainsword in black as well. I'll do that in a moment. First, do the parchment. We'll probably dry brush this with Wraithbone after, just to get it a little bit lighter. And get that sort of more parchment look for it. We'll do the pages of the book in the same way. Okay. That will do. Let's do the book at her hip. And then we'll just add a little bit of this to the fire up here. Yeah, that looks kind of yellowish. Yeah. Won't do the very tops. And while it's wet, I'll thin down some Blood Angels Red and add that. Ooh, give unto you the beam. I shall beam. Wait, no, this is the wrong one. Lol. More of what you already have. Tis I, the beam. Okay. Well, that's still wet. Let's add some thinned down Blood Angels Red. Some very thinned down Blood Angels Red. So that we can blend them in. All hail the glorious beam. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's mix this up. Let's try it with just this very thin amount first. Nope, needs more red. Yeah, that's looking more like it. think I'll mix in some more skeleton horde just over the top. I want to get this bit sort of, at least sort of right. Before I do the metals, because the metals will naturally go over the top of that. Leave that to dry. I think that'll do though. That'll do for a situation that we know isn't perfect. I might redo it later when I've got like some proper things for it. I do think maybe get some Corax white actually. Some Corax white and just dry brush over the top ever so slightly. That might be exactly what I'm looking for. Grey Seer, Wraithbone, Corax white. Hi, Edge Runner. Most of the paint off that brush, and just very gently, a little bit, just a little bit, while it's still drying, just to add that little bit of like a white hot flamey look. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Quickly move on to something else. I don't want to get bogged down in things. Hi, Roller. Hi, Roller. Hi. Hi. How are you? Welcome, welcome. It's your first time in the chat. Hi. Hi. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Hey, you better follow me, Roller. I would like my camera to focus, please. Okay, so what's next on these? I'm going to do the black on that chainsaw, or the eviscerator rather. Then I think it's time for the metal work after that. Actually, no. After that, I should do the flesh turns. Because there's metal over the flesh. It's your day off. Yeah. This is also my day off. But we're going to work tomorrow. Me. But that's okay. We have 3 days off a week. So it's not the end of the world. Where is my Black Templar? Black Templar. Let this go on the chainsword. Then we will do the metal work. So very simple. Very easy. But how are you doing? Your roommate is trying to help you get into 40k. You like buggies. Oh, yeah, no, they've got some really cool vehicles in 40k. What faction do you like the most? I used to play 40k about 20 years ago, and over Christmas, chat kind of convinced me to start again. And they also bought me a bunch of miniatures, so, you know, that was like, yeah, it was really sweet. Chat was very sweet over Christmas. I love my community. You're all wonderful people. Every single one of you. Tyranids! Oh, Tyranids are super cool! You're gonna get a whole bunch of cool new stuff coming in like a month or two. With the new release, you're getting a whole new range refresh. Did you know that the Tyranids have the entire galaxy surrounded? And are attacking from both sides, like they're literally about to eat the galaxy. It's kind of fucked. Like, the world is kind of screwed. But not for your guys. Your little bug boys are going to eat everything and be very happy noms. Okay. We're going to take some pallid witch flesh, because I like the idea of having a very pale character. And we're going to thin it down. And we're going to thin it down a lot. And then we're going to give... No, they're coming... Originally, the Tyranids came from the east of the galaxy. The east quadrant. But now they're coming in from the west, which is really weird, because no one's ever had to deal with... The Imperium's never experienced a Tyranid attack from that side, and it was completely unexpected. And they're going almost for Terra itself. There's some people that think there's Genestealer cults on Terra drawing them there. Which is kind of terrifying for the Imperium, honestly. Like, holy Terra. It's potentially going to get eaten. And that would certainly shake up the setting quite a bit. And I'm all for shaking up the setting. I might have thinned this a bit too much, but that's okay. It's okay if it's too thin. We can just layer it up. The plan, I'm kind of glad it's a bit thin, because that way a lot of the shading from the previous layers and the levels kind of stay true. I'm gonna start with the legs. God, we have to do the thigh gap. This bit of absolute territory between the garter and the sort of skirt bit. They were telling me about how they had the ability to pick a passive to have at the start, but they took it away because it was too good. And now they're bringing it back. Yes, they are. They are. It's really cool. Which means, like, it's very flavorful for Tyranids as well, because it's like, their whole thing is that they adapt. They're like Bugborg. They assimilate and adapt to deal with what they're dealing with. So it's like the perfect kind of lore fluff thing. But I think the downside is that, like, the stats of all of your units aren't going to be that great, but at the same time, you'll be able to specialize to deal with whatever your opponent has, which is really cool. Like, I like that. I have always liked Tyranids, but I've always been terrified of, like, painting their scheme, because skin tones aren't my strong suit. In case me trying to paint these skin tones and absolutely botching it wasn't a clear indication of that already. But it's fine. We're still fairly new to painting. So we're slowly learning. Slowly but surely. And that's one of the things I like about this hobby, is that it's always a learning experience. Whether you're playing the game or you're painting, you always learn something new after every session. Whether it's like a new thing you can do in a battle, or a new way of like doing a thing. I don't like, even though I might repeat things a lot, I never quite do everything exactly the same way. And I think that's really important. I'm gonna have to go over this bit again. that's okay. I should have realized that that was probably a bit too ambitious. Thank you, Reba, for the gift sub! Your baby boy wants a Tyrannofex. You want to paint one myself? See how you do? Yeah. Tyrannofex is really cool. In fact, all of the Tyrannid-like monsters are all really cool. Like, I think as far as factions go in Warhammer, there's nothing like the Tyrannids. Absolutely nothing. And that makes them awesome. Reaper is a lovely, lovely person. Thank you again. You're always such a lovely person. Always doing nice things for us. Need to let that dry before I can do another coat. In that case, I suppose it's time to move on to Apothecary White. No, we'll start with the metalwork. We'll start with the metalwork. But not all of the metalwork. Just gonna focus on the metalwork on this lady. So we're using Iron Warrior Silver for certain elements of this. Mostly the cabling on the backpack and metalwork there. Is this wet? No, we can paint that. Get this bit of cabling. Just painting along the braziers. So this is a battle or a very cool faction. There's a little bit of me that regrets that I have such a detailed collection of models, because they are a pain to paint sometimes. But they're gonna look really, really cool. So gonna do this bit here on the width, because those other bits are gonna be done in a slightly brighter silver, as is the detailing on the armor. Okay. Oh, okay. What's next? What's next? What's next? I really ought to think about doing the whites, but I think this is ready. I'm gonna thicken this palette witch fletch just a little bit. Because, like, this skin is, like, basically white, and while we wanted her to be pale, we wanted her to have some colour. But I think Reichland Flesh Shade over the top of this next flesh colour will be okay. We know we'll have to go over the Black Templar after this again. Which is fine, because I kind of want to darken this bit up anyway. And we also have to go over the mask again. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ugh. Sometimes I don't know that I have very good brush controls. Ah! Wait a minute. I didn't hear it. Did that not work? Did that not work? Oh, why did you disconnect from Twitch, you dumb thing? No, it's crashed. Bleh. Receive patos from Kato. Hang on, I need to reload the tits. You didn't break it. The program is just broken. You were about to redeem the Borga. Let us. Ah! Ah! I had Borga for lunch. It was good. I made it myself. Ah! Why? Borga is good though. Cheesed Borga. Hi Callis, how are you doing? I will consume the liquid in a moment. Un momento. I just need to do the absolute territory first. Evie, what's up? Why are you meowing at me? What's up? What's up? Yeah, what's up? Hi. Okay. A drink. You hear Black Templar and think Starcraft. Wait, a Black Templars in Starcraft? Is ooh, I can't. Where are you trying to go? Do you want to be on my lap? Gatto. What do you want? What do you want, cat? What do you want? Look at this silly little bean. She is a silly little bean. Hi. What do you want? You just want scratches. This is what I have to deal with, guys. This is my life as a cattle parent. She steals the attention. She's a happy little bean, though. See, oh, look at a happy little flute. Oh, you want more? Okay. Oh, yes. She is a sweet bean. A very sweet bean. You are a happy bean. Yes. I don't understand why when you pat a cat's butt, they lift it. Why is this, cat? What about this makes you rise? It doesn't make sense to me. But you seem to enjoy it, so that's fine. Using access to homies, lol. Gatto. You are happy, bean. Yes. All butts to butthole stations. Well, no. No. For real though, cat, I'm trying to paint. I'm trying to paint! I'm trying to paint, you silly little bean. I am trying to paint. The bean is patting the smaller bean. Yes. Yes. We patto the catto. We patto the catto. Okay. Catto. Catto. You're such a happy little floof. Very much an attention whore. But you are a happy little floof, and I like that. What's the next thing I wanted to do? Oh yes, it was Reichland Fleshade. Where are you, Reichland Fleshade? It's Darko's Flesh Contrast. Reichland Fleshade. Gatto. 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 Do not attack the camera, Gatto. Oh, Kato might get an accidental paintage. I will try not to. Kato. Yeah. No, count. I want to paint. I want to paint. Why do you do this? You're such a needy little bean. Look at her little face. God. The second I stop, she's like, give more. Stop attacking the camera. Gato. Is this what you want? Do you want to be on Twitch? Is this what you want, Cat? You wish to be the Twitch streamer? I can understand wanting to be a cat girl Twitch streamer. I promise I can. Okay, count. I'm gonna give you. Ah! I was trying to pick her up, but she is like, nope, I'm staying here. I have removed the cat. Finally, pet him. Jesus Christ. Oh, what am I gonna do with you guys? Honestly. Right. Let's continue, finally. Let's give this a nice, simple shade. A single coating of Reichland Flesh Shade will do a nice job of adding a bit more colour to the very pallid flesh that she's got right now. I didn't think it would be so pale, if I want to be honest with you. But I do like pale skin. I'm gonna try on the rest of them to do a bunch of different skin tones. No, dark oak flesh looks quite good. And I have some other flesh contrast paints. But this one I wanted to try something a bit different. And also, it was going very quickly, and I feel like if I didn't try something a bit different, it would have ended a lot sooner than I'd have liked. What am I gonna do with you guys? Pats and huggies? Yeah, probably. Pet pats for all. We will democratize the patos. Dominus, hi! Hi. Can we get a shout out for Tam? Your hands were falling off. Mate, how do you think I feel? This is what I've been painting today. It's all whips, but like, yeah, we keep a couple of models just for stream. I want to get playing as soon as I can. So it's like everything you guys bought me except for a couple of things that I'm leaving just for stream painting. I'm slowly but surely getting through it. I've got the blacks and the whites to do, and then the metal work. But my hope is to have it all done by the end of next week. Or at least mostly done. Enough for a 500-point game is my goal by the end of next week. Just a little bit of Warhammer. Catcan has a little bit of wargaming. God, I hate doing flesh and faces. It's like, it is my absolute bane. I'm gonna need to do another glaze of Reichland Fleshade, I'm sure. I do love how the Citadel Shade just like absolutely picks out a lot of the muscle definition on the sculpt. It's a really nice kind of quality to the paint. Wait for that to dry. I don't think I can do on this in the meantime. Yeah, I should probably do Apothecary White for that bit on the cloth. Just because there's not that much of it. And I don't need it on this one, I don't think. Where's my Apothecary White? Here it is. Not actually white. Give Kato a kiss. Yes. Where is... Mwah. Okay. We will come back to this with another glaze after that's dried. Now, it's time for Apothecary White. Which is actually not white at all, it's like an off-white kind of like light grey colour. We'll be adding a highlight of... Corax White at the end. Very first thing we're doing is the inner robes, because, you know, just getting that done and out of the way, because it's a pain. And there's also less chance of us making a mistake on the inner robes, at least with a pose like this. I should really use, like, my Citadel, like, the clampy thing that you can hold the bases with. I can't remember what it's called. The, like, miniature stand that you designed for holding it while you paint. I should really, like, use that. But I keep forgetting that I have it, and I don't know where I put it. It's somewhere in the house. Probably in the kitchen near where I spray my models. Somewhere. Just getting some whites in here. We'll add some to these helmety bits. But really, we know we're going to have to go over these in a proper paint. Because there was, unfortunately, some overlap, but we knew we would get some anyway, so it's not the end of the world. The best way to do white is always to use an off-white, I think. And then just add some pure white to highlight. Right. We'll come back to this in a moment. Let's see, has this dried enough for us to put another coating on? Yeah. Add a bit more colour to our Repentia. We don't need this anymore. We will, however, be using this very shortly. Speaking of stands, they added Diamond is Unbreakable to Netflix, but no Golden Wind. Really? Thank you for the like, Callus. I do like that. I mean, it's weird. I don't know. See, Diamond is Unbreakable and Golden Wind. I don't know where they fit between Stone Ocean. I mean, I know where they fit chronologically between Stone Ocean and Battle for Egypt. But, like, what was their purpose in the story? That's one thing I don't quite understand, because, like, I've not finished Stone Ocean, but they don't seem relevant to Stone Ocean. So, like, were they just filler or what? Because it feels like right now they were just random filler stories. I did like seeing Polnareff come back again. Yeah, no, Golden Wind was cool. It just didn't feel like it was it just felt like a random story. I didn't really continue on from where things left. At least not in the same way that the previous JoJo's did, if that makes sense. Because they all were very direct continuations of the same story, and these kind of felt like side stories. So once this glaze is done, we'll get on with more metal work on the... and we'll continue the white highlighting on the superior. What colors will we need? We'll need the white, we'll need the 2 silvers that we need. The darker silver for this one. We'll also need to go over the mask again with Black Templar. Oh, I'm gonna need to go over this with Cornrad. Just a smidge. Just a smidge, but I accidentally overlapped a little bit. See that bit there? Well, you can't because it's blurry and out of focus. Bing! Hi! Hi! We are painting the kinky bitches. As we can see, we have our dom and our sub in the gimp mask, complete with gimp mask and whip. Give me a shout. Oh wait, no, Callus has gone AFK. Well, lurking. Let me give you a shout out, Pink. How are you doing? You having a nice evening? Did you finish that thing you were doing for your model? Who's more kinky, Sisters or Dark Elder? You see, the thing with Dark Elder is that there's no, like, taboo about it in their society. So that, by definition, like, they're so casual, that by definition makes it not kinky. You're still working on the mood board references. Ooh! Photoshop broke. Rip. Rip Photoshop. Lol. Wait. Right. While that dries, I will be getting onto the Corax white highlights on the robes. Do follow Pinky. Pinky is a good bean. Pinky is best bean. Okay, let's try this. So, we want to get... Oh god, I've overlapped the black here as well. But that's okay. So we're just going to do a very gentle highlight. Say gentle. I think I need to thin my paint a little bit more. And now it's thinned too much. Oh, why? Getting the right consistency of paint is always such a pain. Oh no. Oh no, I've made mistakes. Oh no. It's okay though. Gonna have to get them a fist on red after this and make some corrections. Kato, why are you meowing at me? Kato, where are you? But that's okay. Sometimes that's part and parcel of it. It's just like going over stuff here and there. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go and redo some red there. And blacks here and here. Won't take too long. It's only small bits. Okay. What's Katamari? But you wanted to start this reference feed. That's fair. Oh wait, no, I think I was seeing you were playing. That was a game you were streaming the other day, wasn't it? Okay. Right. What's next on the agenda? I think we're happy with the flesh tones. It's a bit brighter than I initially planned, but like it's a bit darker than I initially planned, but I think we're okay with that, honestly. Let's go in with the black Templar contrast and make the corrections we need to correct those parts. Actually, no. We'll do corn red because we don't really need that. Corn red is like the old flesh gore, as it used to be called. It's basically like the standard paint color version of Flesh Terror's red. So it works really well to quickly do touch-ups here and there. It's just this little bit here. Why is this so thin? I didn't thin it. Oh, this is the wrong red. No, it's the right red. Corn red. A very tiny amount. I know it looks very bright right now, but that'll get very dark very quickly. Okay. That is that. Now, the next thing I need to do is the Black Templar. And we'll touch up the reds on the Superior in a moment, after we've done the Black Templar. And get this just a bit darker overall, as well as touch up some of those corrections. There's a bit of me that wonders if I should just use Black Legion contrast instead of Black Templar. But I like being able to do gradual layers, whereas Black Legion is very much like a one and done kind of thing if you want it to be really dark black. Whereas this is a bit more versatile. You can do a bit more with a lower coverage black. And if you wanted that kind of more flat black with very little in terms of like shading range, then you might as well not be doing contrast paint, I think. I feel like it defeats the purpose. That particular paint defeats the purpose of the contrast method. But that's just my opinion. That's like just my opinion, man. Gato, you wish for attention, but you don't know how to walk past all the models. But you know how to go around the models. What are you doing, Gato? 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 She is on the chair behind me. Okay. That bit kind of done. Leave that to dry while we work on the touch-ups on this one. There was some black I'm sure I needed to correct. Yes. It's a tiny little bit in here. Cat, do not the paint. Do not disrupt. Do not. I think it would make sense to just do a second coating over this. In general. Okay. I think that is basically all done. Yeah. Right, let's get back to metal work now, shall we? So. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. One small thing to do. The Mephiston red corrections to the light red on this one. There's not too much to do, thankfully. Just this bit here. And a little bit on the back of this leg. I think that's it. I know it looks very bright right now, but that will correct when it dries. It does dry to be very much darker than it currently shows. Okay. Right. I think, due to the way that some of this is laid out and the fact that there's barely any of it, I think I'll do the golds first. Actually, no, I should do the silvers, because once I get gold in the water, all the silver just gets a slight gold tint, and it really just annoys me. Yeah. And I don't really want to change water. Mostly because I don't want to pause the stream. I just want to keep going. I want to keep going, you know? Oh god, I just realised. I didn't paint that. Correct. This. Okay. So. We're gonna add, we always do like gold hilt, like guards to the weapons. So, for this one, we want to go back to using Iron Warrior's silver. We're gonna just do these bits here, which are like the ports that allow them to interface with their power armor as Sisters of Battle. Do that. Well, dab is all you need, because there's not much on the miniature there. Then when we finished with all the metal work, we'll just put a drop of Nuln Oil on those bits. Get this bit of the chainsword done. Now, we're going to do the lighter metals in Iron Hand Silver, which is... that's Storm Host for the highlights. Where is my Iron Hand Silver? It should be here. Iron Hand Steel. There it is. So for this one, we're just going to do the cuffs at her wrists. I'm going to do the little pommely bit on Eviscerator. And then of course the teeth, well, actually, while we're here, we'll do the little fleur-de-lis on her mask. Oh no. Just gone over that a tiny bit, but that's fine. We will correct that. Do all the oh god. Okay, never mind. We've made a few mistakes. We will go over this in Abaddon Black. And that's okay. There are no mistakes. They're just happy little accidents. Okay. Just doing the details and ornamentation on the weapon. And the teeth. going over that in contrast might do, because silver shows quite well through contrast. I'm going to add some silver to this pin going through her parchment bit. We will add some details to that, the purity seals and that, with a micron pen later. I don't know that I have the finesse to write something proper on it though, but we will do what we can. Right. Let's add silver to these bits. Skulls on the whips are going to be gold, I've decided. Do little things like the buckles. Just lots of tiny little details on these miniatures that make them really satisfying to paint, but also an absolute pain. We're just doing the whip pads. And the little floor here. Skull on that. Inquisitorial symbol. And of course the floor on the backpack. Once you've picked all these out, I think we're ready for null oil at this stage. Wait, no. Yes we are, because those I'm going to do in gold. There's a lot of ornamentation on the upper robes of this lady, so we're going to do those in gold because she is like an elite character in the armies. So yeah, we're just gonna do some null oil wash on the metalwork. Actually, the first thing we should do, no. Yeah, I should, no. Where's my Abaddon black? Here we are. Just gonna go over this chain sword a little bit, where we went over some of the black when we were doing detail work, and just tidy that up a little. Thankfully not too much that needs correction. That needs to be thickened. Oh dear. I have to go over the silver just very briefly on some of the teeth here. There's always a bit of back and forth when painting details. It's very hard for everything to go perfectly, I think. So it's only natural to have to go over bits here and there a couple of times to get perfect. But yeah, we're almost there. Almost. Just go over the teeth very carefully, because that's all that's been messed up, really. The very edge. There we go. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad at all. Okay, null oil time. Then we do the gold. Null oil. It's always sold out everywhere we go when we need more. We are starting to run a bit low on this as well. But we'll get some eventually. I really like null oil for silver. Nun oil. I mean, it is technically nun oil. Coat the nuns in the oil. Yes. This is what we like to see. BDSM nuns coated in oil. Who's not gonna like that? Well... Okay. That one's done. Nice and quick. Yeah. Not much to go now. Going to quickly do the null oil on the chain eviscerator, cuffs, and the metal pots. Oh, it looks like I've missed some bits. Quickly do those now. Nice and simple. Still a bit of iron hand steel on the palette, so we don't have to top up our paint. Just a drop here. And here for the connecting ports for her power armor. And we're back to null oil. just do just a little drop of oil. That's all we need for these bits. Okay. And we do the other side, even though no one really is gonna see it, but we'll know. And that's the important thing, really. You want to take pride in your hobby work, I think. Whew! Nearly there. Nearly there. 2 things left. A smidge of gold. And the green on the helmet lenses, which terrifies me every time. Because I'm not very good at, like, small bits like that. And then we base them. Where is my gold? There's my Retributor armor. We do the inquisitorial symbol there. Inquisitorial symbol here. The floor delete and her helmet. And then we do these little embellishments on her upper robes. Honestly, a bit terrifying for me because of how small they are. But we'll get through it. The other cat has arrived. Gatto! Where are you going, Gatto? Oh. Do not drink the paint water, cat. You won't like it. Gatto, what are you doing? She's behind my keyboard. She looks like she's being suspicious. But I don't know what she's doing. think that looks rather nice. Yes. Okay. Now do pommels on the whips. Yeah. Now we do the guard on the eviscerator. We need to thicken up that gold a little bit. Just this touch. Kato is sus. Yes, Mikato was being sus. Now she's just being chill. Kato was being sussy. It looked like she had something in her mouth that she was nomming on that she shouldn't have. But she had nothing. She had nothing. Okay. Now that that's done, leave that a moment to dry. We'll do the warp lightning for the eye lenses, which I kind of despise, but here we are. Use our very thin brush. Look at her little face. Gato, Haru. Hi. She looks so grumpy sometimes. I don't know why. Haru, you're a little grumpy bean. Why are you grumpy? She's not actually grumpy. She just has like resting bitch face. Okay, so we just do some little eye lenses and hopefully don't fuck it up. Because if we fuck it up, that means we have to do white again, and I hate doing white, so yeah. Have as little paint as possible. Just a tiny little touch. With contrast. Oh, I fucked it up. Fine, fuck it. I'm embracing the scuff. Oh, this isn't even as dark as it usually is. What's the deal with that? Add a bit more. Okay, I've embraced the scuff. We will fix those helmets and the helmet in a moment. Okay. Now, one of the last things we need to do before we fix that white, nice bit of Seraphim Sepia to shade the golds in. No, sorry, not a Seraphim Sepia. Raglan Flesh Shade. It just adds a bit of warmth to it. And while I wait for the green to dry so I can add the white to fix it, I'm gonna do a little bit of detail work on the Repentia. And to do that, we have a little micron pen here. And we're basically just gonna write on it. Because we can. I say write. I use that term loosely. I'm gonna more scribble some lines so that it looks like there's a bunch of text on here. God, I love using a micron pen. Like, it's so small. You can be so very precise with it. I wish I had, like, a white one so I could, like, add in, like, reflection dots on like, the lenses and stuff. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well do it on my, flying lady from last time. Yeah. Just a neat little thing you can do with acrylics is get like a little micron paint pen for really extra fine detail work. Okay. I should be able to fix this now. Just need some Corax white. Is there still Corax white on the palette? Not really, no. Just a tiny little smidge of it will do. Because there's not much we need to do, really. So, what colour should the flowers we put on their bases be? We've got red already, and we've got blue already. And we've got purple already. So I want this squad to have a different colour. Let's have a look. I can't even remember which ones what I've got. Oh no. I'm gonna have to go in with the green again. Aww. Okay. Let's do what I should have done, really, and use my secret weapon. My nail art brush. is the tiniest brush I have. It's super precise. So I can make sure I don't mess this bit up. I can't believe I forgot that I even had this. Nail art brushes are fantastic for detail work because they are just really tiny. Like, it's just so goddamn tiny. Like, so it's the perfect thing for like doing lenses and eyes. Yeah. Cool. Now that that's done, it's time to base these bitches. So, we do what we always do. We paint, we're going to use Sylvaneth bark and our dry brush. And we're just going to coat the sides of the bases in this. And then, when we're done, we're going to dry brush the bottom portions of the models in the same colour. Just to give it that more sort of like in the field kind of look. Because that's what we're doing with all of our miniatures in our army. A little bit of gentle weathering. What's that? Brush? What's that? Base edge looks consistent. Okay. Is that done? Okay. Now, let's get most of the paint off this brush. And then we can do the dry brushing. Okay. Now we do go. Shoot the Repentia. There's not really going to be much we do here. Just get a bit of mud on her feet. Yeah. Right, now that that's done, we get our silicone sculpting brush. The reason we do this is because we're going to apply Vallejo earth texture to the bases. I love using texture paint for bases because it just makes things a lot simpler. See, we've used white, yellow. You know what? Let's go with pink. Let's go with pink. We like the way this looks. And just slop a bunch of it on. We'll spread it around. It's weird going from painting to just smearing shit everywhere, but it works. It looks... The whole point of this is to try and create like a muddy kind of look on the bases. And it does a good job, really. That one done. Grab a little puff of the flour. Put that on there. Got a lot of space, so we'll add some plain grass to it as well. Debbie! Hi, hi, hi. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I am full of cheeseburgers. It has been a cheeseburger day. And we're almost finished with these minis. It's nice to have a bit of mixed kind of grass in, because that's how nature is, isn't it? Nothing is like super consistent. Right, now we do the superior. Who is like our boss lady of this group. Get the texture paint on there. Kato. Why are you? Oh, Kato. Do not the keyboard. Do not. Kato. I'm slightly terrified. My cat is like half leaning on, sitting on the keyboard, half loafing on the keyboard. And it's just like, if I move her, something could get pressed. If I don't move her, something could get pressed. It is Schrodinger's stream now. Will it die or will it live? Oh no. Good morning, Demi. Yeah. I hope you had a good sleep. This bit is done. Okay. Gatto, you are trying to play with the brushes. Do not. Do not the brush, Gatto. Do not. Let me just sprinkle some static grass around. That kind of fills up the base. I think we're basically done. Let's try and get these into focus. Camera. Camera. There we go. What do you think, my guys? Ah, get back into focus. Come on. Come on. Any second now, please. I wish I had a brighter yellow for the fire. But you know, I think these came out okay. You'll be sure to invest in one the next time we need it. But yeah. We finished. We finished. We finished. We did it. Yeah. Thank you all for choosing to spend your time. And you know, it's nice. What do I fancy doing? Well, rather, who do I fancy raiding? I would have liked to raid Small, but I don't think he's streaming. Is he streaming? No, he's not streaming. I almost always raid Small once a week. This is like the first week, I think, I haven't raided him. I don't know who I want to raid. I raided Pickle the other day. I know. let's raid another Warhammer streamer. It looks like they're painting Dark Angels, which is very cool. One of the best chapters, and the best Legion. But yeah, thank you so much for choosing to hang out. It was fun. It was a bit quicker than I thought it would be. I think I'm getting better at this, or at least my process is a lot smoother than it used to be. I think it's probably because I spent most of the week painting the exact same color scheme. I think I kind of understand how to do it now. But that's not always going to be the case. We are going to do other things in the very near future. Yes. Thank you all for choosing to spend your night with me. I hope you have wonderful days, nights, wherever you are in the world. I love you all. Have a good day. Bye. Mwah.